When I hear built in Africa, to me, it's more like stories, products, ideas, that are built by Africans. And like, it doesn't necessarily mean that ideas and stories, are confined to the world of Africa. It's just that it could, basically be linked or traced to, African roots.
You're in the right place. Welcome to the Built in Africa podcast, where we connect trailblazers of the African diaspora through the unifying language of tech. On this episode, we connect with Seun Akanni, front-end software engineer and co-founder of Retroly, an agile retrospective tool for teams with remote or co-located team members. Let's get into it. Retrospectives are a critical component of the agile process. It's where teams reflect on the development process and look for areas of improvement. Listen as Seun shares how they structured Retroly.
We modeled Retroly like the actual retros, that go on in an agile team. What a normal Retroly board looks like is we divided into 4 stages. We have the feedback stage, the group stage, the vote stage, and the resolution stage. So, the feedback stage is the initial stage. So this is where like everybody in the team comes, to add feedbacks or ideas or suggestions and stuff like that. So for each of these features that we did, we tried to find like key features in them again. So like for the feedback stage, we added a feature called live feedback. How did you come up with this feature? So we found out that during feedback entry, sometimes the feedback a teammate might want to drop might be a bias. Maybe his boss has already said something to counter that. So there's always this bias around it. So what we now did was, okay, fine. If we blow out everybody's feedback, you only see what you posted. That way, nobody knows what anybody posted until they get to the second stage. So after that, the next stage is the group stage. So the group stage is just a very, very simple stage where, so we found out that after people, have added feedback into the system, they needed to, sometimes these feedbacks are almost alike. It won't make any sense to, just keep them going on like that. It makes more sense to be able to group those feedbacks together into one feedback. Yeah. So the next stage after that is the voting stage. Okay. So at the vote stage, we found out that during idea generation or feedback, teammates want to like vote on, a preferred idea or like a feedback. For example, if you set 3 votes, users can, vote on 3 individual feedbacks. So we found out that during idea generation, sometimes when, for example, I have an idea that I feel like the team or the company should implement, I want to like spend all my votes. Just think of it like money. I want to spend all my money on this idea. So what we did was we now allowed a feature called multiple votes. Multiple votes allows a teammate to, spend all his votes on that one feedback he wants to fly. Then the next stage is the resolution stage. So the resolution stage was just a stage where, based on the feedbacks everybody has added into the system, you can go under someone's feedback and add a comment or 2. Yeah, most of our users are in France, in the UK, the US, Germany, Canada. When we put Retroly out to the world, people in France are the one that embrace this so much. Like every day we have like 60% users from France, like 60-70% users, and I'm like, when we're thinking of building, we're thinking, France. Like it shows like a lot of people really, like, the solution and, are, willing to make use of it. And we barely like have users from Africa. And I'm like, what's going on in Africa? Like,
at the end of the day, software is built for humans. So empathy is critical when you're building software solutions. Listen as Seun shares the role empathy played in building Retroly.
When we're trying to like build Retroly, empathy played a very, very important role, because I mean, you are you are building for, users. You want users to have a minimal learning curve when they, use your applications. I mean, you don't want users to begin to check YouTube videos or begin to, read epistles just to make use of a solution. I mean, you are trying to solve a problem. Why should you add more problems to the users? Yeah. So like, we really had to like think of, okay, what is the basic or the simplest way a user can actually do this without having to, go 4 steps or 5 steps into the application before they can do it. You get, so like, empathy really played a very, very important role.
As a front-end developer, Seun is often responsible for implementing the designs of the UX designer, and at times, this relationship between the developer and the designer can be contentious. Recognizing the value of UX professionals, Seun shares his thoughts on the importance of the relationship.
It's a very important relationship, because I mean, as you need to have a pictorial visualization of what you are trying to solve. Sometimes you get problems here, and when you see them play out in pictures or in diagrams, they are actually easy to code out, because like, you can actually now see the problem. You can like see what you're trying to solve. Because I mean, if you don't have a pictorial representation of what you're trying to solve, I mean, it's going to be very, very hard. When you have like an actual UI design, and the UI designer can now tell you, okay, this is how we are trying to solve this problem. We created this and this. This is how we should flow. And it makes more sense, because if you're trying to build solutions for users, you need to like factor a lot of things into it. And I feel like the UI person would have done a lot of research, like thinking about like the human computer interaction, like the normal thinking of the user. As a front-end designer, you may not really know all of that, but like, that's more like the job of the the user interface person to like, okay, this is how user thinks, so this is how we should model our solution towards. So I mean, it's a necessary addition to work with the UI person.
And that's it for this episode. If you haven't already, check out the full article on our website, builtinafrica.io, found in the description. And while you're there, subscribe to our newsletter so we may keep you up to date with the latest. But until then, keep building.